Welcome, listeners, to the Gamer Headlines Show. Gamer Headlines' weekly entertainment podcast. This is episode 39. I am one of your co-hosts, Adnan Riaz. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, Chris Cortez.
Hi, everybody.
We were meant to be joined by James this week, but that hasn't come to fruition, so it's just me and Chris with a lot of news.
I always suspect that he's just busting ghosts, man.
He probably is dead. Like,
No. Oh my God.
That message that's happened like a million times where everyone thinks James is dead and he just turns up. Like, he used to turn up halfway into other podcasts I used to do with him and just like, James, where the hell have you been? Might even show up in this one, but we'll have to see.
He just shows up and he's like, busting makes me feel good. Ghostbusters.
He is the kind of guy, I imagine, who dresses up like a Ghostbuster when he's playing games. He's like, dun 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 dun. Like, James, what are you doing? Like,
he gets into a character and, like, has to... He basically brings the Comic-Con to his house, his living room.
He's more of a method actor than the actual actors.
He's like, I'm a Ghostbuster. That's my job.
Yeah.
When he's like, I gotta come back home from work. I just finished busting ghosts. But all right, guys, enough. I love how we just began the opening minute and a half of this podcast. It's just us ragging on James. The Pungello.
You missed our podcast schedule. God damn it.
That's the penance of missing. All right, guys. Well, before we jump in, as Adnan says, we got some great news today, but before we jump into that, dude, Adnan, man, talk nerdy to me, my friend. What have you been up to since episode 38, our last podcast?
Do you know what? I've actually done quite a bit, but this main one that I'm talking about has taken over my life since yesterday. So
I've been briefly made aware of this, but it's pretty beautiful.
Right, so basically I downloaded all the PS Plus games and I was like, I'm probably not going to play any of these. But then Josh, who we know from loads of other things that we used to do, told me about Rocket League. And I was like, the fuck is Rocket League? So I turned on and then like went online with him. And like, it's the most satisfying game I played in the last like 12 months. Like, honestly, I just played it. I was like, this is so satisfying. Like, basically the concept, if you want to grasp it quickly, bunch of cars in a 3 or 4v4. It's 2, 3 or 4v4 matches you can do. So you have different options, 5-minute rounds, and basically you're hitting a massive ball into the other net. So it's football with cars, or soccer with cars for the American fan base. And oh my god, I was playing it so much last night. I played it with Josh, who I know, and obviously Chris knows as well, for I think maybe an hour. Then I started playing with Miller, who I know, and I kept playing Miller. He was just like, I don't know how he got used to it, but I played with him 4 hours straight. This was at the middle of night. This was 12 till 4 last night. I was playing that, and went to bed at 4:30 in the morning. I was so fucking hooked on this game. I was like, this is amazing. I think one of the weirdest criticism about it is that there's not enough kind of like content in terms of that. It kind of does become a little bit, the novelty wears off slowly, but it's that kind of game that I want to come back to. Like, I will jump back on it today and probably play it 3 or 4 hours because it's just so much fun, like competing. It's very competitive and it's just like, it's hearty. You know, when you have hearty food,
yeah, it's
just that kind of like warm feeling. It's like that kind of game. Just like, I've wanted this game in a long time, just to kind of like keep me busy.
Yeah, it's everyone in the chat was talking about how great this game was and all this stuff, and I was just sitting there reading everything you guys were saying, and I'm like, shit, let me try this out. So actually, a few hours ago, today during my lunch break, I downloaded the game and I started playing it. And I'm very particular with my games, so for me personally, it just wasn't my thing, but I immediately saw, because I was bad at it, that's why it's not my thing. Like, I just sucked ass at it, and I got frustrated. I'm like, it's not my thing. But I immediately saw, like, what they could do with that. Like, I saw, like, holy shit, you could do a lot of shit with this. And I was even telling Adnan, I would love to watch people, like, on Twitch or something, play this game. Like, it's pretty fucking entertaining. It's a really cool idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you gave up, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't my thing, dude. I was just
It goes back to that multiplayer discussion we had.
Yeah.
You drop out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I'm more of a co-op teammate guy. Like I love doing things where you team up with someone and you fight the AI. You know what I mean? Like how Uncharted did it. But yeah, I mean, we mentioned this already in the multiplayer thing. I don't want to backtrack, but that's who I am. So it just wasn't my thing because this is like you're against people, and I suck at that. Dude, I've sucked at that since like GoldenEye on the N64. I used to get my ass handed to me so hardcore. Like my friend who was like really good at it, he would put us in the jail cell and then put proximity mines all over it. So if we tried to leave the jail cell in the bunker, it would explode and kill us. And we would always. And once I like escaped and it didn't kill me, and he's like, "What?" And he started chasing me. It was so fucking cool. Like it was really. I was good at running away, not good at fighting.
This is the kind of game that gets my. This is the kind of game that gets my really competitive side out. Like yesterday, I was getting really aggressive. I was like, fucking Josh Skull, I can't know. Like I get really competitive with these kind of games, and the thing is that I enjoy it a lot. Though it's like when I played Plants vs Zombies for like last 2 months ago, like Garden Warfare. I got the platinum. I thoroughly enjoyed that. As much as I don't want to say it, I thoroughly enjoyed playing it, just because it was so satisfying playing like a multiplayer fun shooter. And this one what's it called? Rocket League kind of reminds me of Halo 3's Griffball.
Yeah.
I was explaining Griffball to Chris because Chris didn't know what it was, and it was a Bungie event they used to do, like I think it was double XP or something, and it's a 4x4 room or grid, and there's like 4 people in each team. They have Griff hammers and the energy sword, and basically there's a ball in the middle. You have to grab it and take it to the other side of the room, and while you try to take it to the other side of the room, they're spawning. Like as soon as you kill someone, they'll spawn on that side of the room, so you have to like take them out. And oh god, I used to spend hours and hours on that on Xbox. Like, I didn't even like Halo 3 that much, but that mode had a special place in my heart. I used to play it so much.
That's awesome. Would you say you liked that mode better than the whole of Gears of War Online?
No.
Oh, okay. No. So it wasn't that, like, to you, it wasn't like that life. It was good, but not like,
It was satisfying to play, but Gears is in its own league.
Right.
Like, it's Gears Ultimate Edition. That game was just like the embodiment of a multiplayer shooter, but that's for another discussion anyway.
So in the admin scale, this is like, that was right below it.
Oh, this is like 15 William Dafoe. This is something on the scale. Like, it just surpasses expectations. Even has David Cage at the end of the 15 William Dafoes.
Damn, that's a mark of approval. Jeez.
Not even William Dafoe.
His cousin,
His cousin. But back to Rocket League, though, really, really sad. PS Plus, like that kind of game has nailed it. Mm-hmm. So even if it's not the big AAA game that I really want from PS Plus, when they give something like that, I'm just like, oh, like, because I was never gonna really pay for that kind of game. It just wouldn't appeal to me. But when you kind of get those games, I'm just like, this is amazing. It's like with the PS3, we had Modern Nation. Is it Modern Nation Racing?
Yeah,
like that was huge for the PS3. I was like that used to be like a party game. That you could enjoy, and this kind of game is almost like a really good party game. It's just the fact that I'm driving around in a truck, knocking around a giant ball in someone's net. By the way, my car has a sombrero hat and the Pakistan flag on the side of it, which was really funny because I was like, this is the most bizarre thing to see me in that car. It's going to be like, what the fuck is that all about? But yeah, that was really funny where I could customize my car with like different things. But really enjoy it though. I'm going to pop onto it later on tonight after this podcast. Get a couple more hours into it.
Nice. That's a pretty diverse car you got there, man. That's pretty funny.
Oh, mate, I'm representing all races of that car. Speaking up for my minority brethren, one of them which I'm not even related to, I'm not even Mexican, but you're Cuban. We're almost that. I'm giving the Latin Americans some voice.
Yeah, be careful with that Mexican-Cuban thing, though.
Oh, yeah, I know. I did history.
Yeah, but no, Latin. Hey, you know what? You got the Latin American people. It's all good.
The Latin brethren.
Well, like you, dude. I don't know why I couldn't speak for a second. Like you, I had something else I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about the Batgirl DLC, but instead I wanted to talk about something I think is a lot more interesting. There's this documentary that was, I think, birthed on Kickstarter. It was 100% funded by Kickstarter, and it was called "The Death of Superman Lives: What Happened." And it's a documentary that was, I think his name is John Schnepp. That's the name of the director. He also is I think one of the main producers on Metapocalypse, which is an Adult Swim show that goes on. And basically, dude, it's a documentary about this Superman movie that almost got made in the 90s that was called Superman Lives. And that movie was pretty much ready to be made. Like, they had, like, sets built, they had costumes designed, all that sort of stuff. But for the reasons that they depict in the movie, which is primarily financial issues with Warner Brothers, the movie never got made. But dude, the documentary is really good. It's super interesting. I don't want to summarize the documentary because I don't want to spoil it, but I'll give like little highlights of it. Basically, what happened was Warner Brothers made this was around the time like the 90s, right after like Batman had made them a shitload of money with the 2 Tim Burton movies, and I think Batman Forever as well. And they wrote a screenplay for a movie called Superman Reborn. And Kevin Smith, through a happenstance, got the position to possibly write, another draft of the script. But he said, look, you got to, like, chuck everything you have from this draft. Let me write my own draft. They based it off of the comic book, The Death of Superman, comic event that happened back in the 90s. And he titled the movie Superman Lives, as opposed to Superman Reborn. And it was a pretty good adaptation. I read the Kevin Smith script. I've never read the other ones. But basically what happened was they hired Tim Burton. He fired Kevin Smith. They hired another writer. That writer got fired. They hired another writer to lower the budget on the movie from $150 million to $100 million. And basically at the end of the day, they had spent so much money on that movie. I think they spent like millions and millions of dollars on the pre-production of that movie. And basically Warner Brothers said, I think it was because of Batman and Robin and a bunch of other movies they released that domestically bombed. They bombed it, domestically in the United States, and they just said, you know what, man, fuck this. And they just canceled the Superman Lives project. And eventually they made Superman Returns, which was an entirely different story. It had nothing to do with the production of this movie. But it was a really cool idea. They had Nicolas Cage. He was going to be the dude, playing Superman. And there's a photo of him online that if you look at it, if you look at it, you think, whew, good thing they avoided that. And it's a really bad picture, but that's the thing. It's a really bad, unflattering picture. If you see him in the costume, and that was like the first time they ever had him in the suit, and they rejected that suit concept and that whole look. And if you see him in the final costume, he looked really cool. He looked really badass in the suit and with the long hair and stuff. And it could work. In the movie, you get to see those pictures, by the way. I don't think they're online. I've tried looking for them. They weren't there. But I highly recommend you guys pick it up. It's available on Blu-ray, and they also have a digital download of the movie. I think you can get it for as low as $15 digitally. And it's the movie, and it's on a website called VHX.com, and they allow you to download a copy of the movie directly, and it's like on what is it when there's no it's like no DRM locks or anything like that. Like it's just the video. Yeah, it's DRM free, right? So you could just download it directly to your hard drive, and you could put it on a USB drive, pop it into your PS4 or something, and watch it on the big screen. It's a really great movie, though. I recommend you, Adnan. I recommend anyone who is up there. It's one of the best film-based documentaries. So in other words, a documentary about like a film or some sort of film project. It's easily in my top 5, one of my favorite documentaries on that. But it was a really cool movie. I dug it. It was really nice.
Is Empire of Dreams in that top 5?
Oh, fuck yes. That is such a good documentary. Oh, dude. Yeah, excellent. To this day, I want that released in HD. They still only have the DVD quality of it. I want that in a better format. It's such a great documentary.
It's just such a great insight into everything.
Yeah.
I do plan on watching this, because I like when I see documentaries like this, it's kind of like one of those things where you've almost literally instantly got my attention.
Yeah.
That's why I brought Empire of Dreams up, because I remember watching that, and that was like absolutely fascinating, especially when it talks about the backing behind Star Wars and everything about that film. Just like it can blow your mind, especially when you kind of think about it. And when you like compare it with contemporary stuff as well, like Frozen, where they didn't get any of like the marketing material done.
Oh,
and, like
yeah.
how they've just caught up with all the merchandise. Like I'm going down to shops, I see Frozen stuff. I'm like, that film came out
Like,
ages ago.
yeah.
Like, you literally missed the hype train where you would have sold millions more now. Obviously, they have sold quite a bit, but not as much.
Right.
But this project did sound really fascinating. I think it would have bombed. No, actually, no, it wouldn't bomb. It would have bombed. I think it would have suited what it was.
It would have made...
For the 90s.
Yeah, I think it would have been like the Superman movie of the 90s, much how Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were like those 90s things. I think it would have done as good as Batman and Robin, so in other words, it would have made its budget back and more, but it wouldn't have been like... It wouldn't have been like a Dark Knight Rises, okay? Like $1 billion.
No, it's not going to win. It's not going to be nominated for Oscars or win Oscars. It'll be like critically acclaimed. It'll probably be panned by those people. But Batman and Robin was fucking shit, but people watch it for the novelty of what it's become.
I mean, come on, Jill, life. Like, hey, Batman, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age, die! Like, that movie, dude, I tell people it is horrible, but you need to watch it just for Arnold Schwarzenegger. He really is the shining star of that movie. He's so
my favorite entire thing of that one when I grew up and watched it, I was like, why is Barbara Gordon? Is it Barbara Gordon? No, why is Barbara wearing her school clothes from England while she's in America? I'm like, wait, what? Like, did she come across on the plane, not get changed?
Yeah, just literally left school, got on the plane. Dude, it's such a dumb logic. They're like, okay, she's in school in England, so we have to have her wear an English outfit, even though she's already in the United States. Just fuck it, go with it.
So stupid.
It's almost insulting, right, to the audience?
It's the biggest insult to the audience, where you just sit there and you're like, oh.
And in that version, she's not Commissioner Gordon's daughter. She's Alfred's niece.
Oh, fucking hell.
They really took liberties on that movie.
I was expecting her to, when she gets dressed, it just turns into a fashion show. It's like, start playing the music, and she's like walking down the runway in the Batcave. It would have surprised me.
It turns into Clueless all of a sudden, and you're like, hey, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I love, by the way, side note, Bane in that movie is just, he's a moron. He's literally just a muscle-fied idiot. And then you see Dark Knight Rises, and you're like, wow, they so got him. Like, you could have done... yeah, like, you could have done anything, and you would have gotten Bane right, but they actually got him right so well in Dark Knight Rises in comparison to Batman or Robin Bane.
Compared to Batman, like, oh my god, why was he even in that film? It just made no sense where he's hiding henchman and he does nothing.
Yeah, he's just chilling. They need another villain, make a toy.
He doesn't understand the power of theatricalities and deception.
Actually, what's my favorite part, I saw that movie not too long ago, Batman and Robin, and the part I cracked up in is they're like, yeah, Batman, look, we have these photos of some alleged people arriving from South America, and it was a black and white photograph. Dude, it's Bane wearing a trench coat and a fedora, but he still has the mask on, so it's clearly Bane, and he's holding her luggage. It's such a dumb... Oh god, it's...
No?
It's so
I mean, like, come on. No one knew who he was until I put on the mask.
Like immediately, oh, the hat's gone. Right, you're Bane. Okay.
It is like really terrible. It's like Daffy Duck wearing that in like JFK shooting like a trench coat and walking down with his tail poking out.
Yeah, or what is it? Bugs Bunny cross dressing and Elmer Fudd always falls for it and shit. It's like
exactly. It's like a cartoon parody.
It really was a cartoon though. That movie.
Oh yeah. They're all the 90s. It's fucking hell. When you compare them, just like. You must have thought someone was like on acid or something when they're making these films, but I really am fascinated by this. I do need to watch it. I saw like a lot of the Comic-Con buzz going around it, and like it's caught my eye. I've got it like on my planner thing to watch. I love watching documentaries. I mean, like Room 237 is one of my favorite movie documentaries. That's on The Shining, and like Kubrick's, just how fucking much of a genius Kubrick is.
There's a great documentary on the Nightmare on Elm Street series. On Netflix not too long ago. It was really fucking good. I think I saw it earlier this year, like around January, February or something.
Oh, Robert Englund and Wes Craven, just like the stuff that they did for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
It was just like crazy, especially like the kind of context of what was it Never Sleep Again, the Elm Street Legacy documentary.
I think it might have been. I'd have to look that up. I think it was though.
Yeah, that was a great documentary. No, but this one I do need to watch though, definitely. But I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was really... Oh, and dude, yeah, it was that one. Definitely. Yeah, it was that one. It's a great documentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys should see it too. It's good stuff.